I never really felt like I had a snoring problem, although my wife did. And Janet and I were talking about her program, and she suggested that it might be beneficial to Ruth, if not to me, if I gave it a try, which I did. And I'd been tested before. My wife had concerns that I may have had some sleep apnea, so I had a sleep study in the past, and it didn't show that I had any specific health issues. But I started the program. It was very simple, and Janet was an excellent teacher. There was not too much in the way of equipment necessary, but we went ahead and proceeded with that. She gave me exercises to perform weekly on my own, and I did. And lo and behold, a few weeks into it, probably 3 weeks into it, I started noticing that I had more energy when I'd wake up, and apparently I did have some sleep issues I was unaware of. And it turned out that my wife had some sleep issues as well, because she had more energy when she woke up because she was sleeping better as well. So I went ahead and went through the program, and I did find that I got somewhat lax towards the end of it and had to go back and go over some of the exercises because I did tend to backslide, and like many things, if you don't follow up on it, then it can come back and create some issues for you. But gosh, I guess it's been a couple years now, and I haven't had any issues to speak of. If my wife does mention that I've had some snoring, then I'll go back and I'll go to some of the earlier sections and start doing the exercises till I get back in the rhythm of the whole program. And it usually takes care of it, and I have a happy wife, which is a good thing, and I sleep well, and it's all done quite well for me.
Hi, I had a problem with not being able to sleep all night, and I woke up at times with my mouth and throat feeling really dry, had problems with snoring, and just was overall fatigued in the morning. So a friend of mine introduced me to the I Just Want to Sleep program, and I actually learned that my tongue had a place to live in my mouth that was natural. The program is very easy to do. There's a book that goes with it, and also the exercises will help make your tongue stronger, and they will give you your tongue a place to live in the top of your mouth where it's supposed to be. And that had never occurred to me because I had a lot of problems with tongue thrust. And the operation of the program is very simple. It's very small, no reading actually, and it doesn't take a lot of concentration. The exercises actually only take a few minutes every day or every other day, and be amazed at the results. It would really help me a lot. Now I wake up in the morning feeling rested. I actually can go through the day without having to take a nap, and my mouth is not all dried out. And actually I think it's made me more calm and feel more comfortable in speaking to people. And I really appreciate her help. I think that she's got a great idea. Should give it a try.
Welcome to the I Just Want to Sleep seminar tonight, and I'm Sabrina Miller. I'm the marketing director for I Just Want to Sleep. And since we have such a small group tonight, you're going to get extra special treatment. Because if people go to Janet's office for this, it's a whole lot different. Janet and I have known each other for quite some time. She graduated from UNC Greensboro with a master's degree in speech pathology. And she discovered this while treating a student. And you're going to be amazed at the story. And when I met her, she was going to save the world from snoring, and she still is. So thank you for being here. It's a big commitment, and you're brave because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. So the only thing I would ask is if you do have a cell phone, to please put it on vibrate. Okay, help me welcome Janet.
Hi, Janet.
So glad you're here. Okay, yeah, I do want to tell you how I discovered this. I was treating a 14-year-old football player for a swallowing problem. And so I had to teach him where to put his tongue, get the muscles stronger, everything. So he would swallow differently. Third lesson, so that would be 3 weeks, his mom comes into my office and she says, "What are you doing to Adam?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she said, "Well, he's always been the loudest snorer in the world, and now he's not making a sound."
Really?
So I didn't know anything about snoring. This was about 10 years ago. And so I ran home, didn't even have a computer in my office. Ran home, got on the internet, and I thought, okay, I'm going to find that they are using tongue exercises to cure snoring. Well, no, I didn't find that at all. I found some horror stories about cutting off the uvula or pulling the jaw forward to make the airway bigger. Meanwhile, you're going to hurt all these other areas. Or the big, you know, monster from outer space, the mask. And then I learned only 4% of the people who needed the mask actually used it. And it was just not good stuff that I found. And so I got real excited. And yes, Sabrina's right. I decided right then I had to save the world. And I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a big thing. So then I thought, okay, I need to make sure that I can duplicate this. I've got to make sure this is right. You know, I've got one person who stopped snoring because of 2 weeks worth of exercises. So the next year, I found, it was easy to find, 86 people all over the United States who wanted to try a snoring program. And I used them specifically to develop a program. I wanted a 7-week program. And I talked with each person every week. We had, you know, talked to Mrs. Jones at 7:15 on Wednesday night. I did that with 86 people. It took me 8 months to get through all of that. It was fun. I stayed excited the whole time. And so I would email them the lesson that morning, and then that evening I would talk to them on the phone, and I'd say, okay, did you understand this? And they would help me word it. If they didn't understand it, I would really, you know, try to word it, because I discovered or decided early on that I could not save the whole world by myself. I did not want to train the trainers to go out there and do it. And I thought, well, this is so easy. Let me develop a program that's easily understood by the person in the, you know, in their own home, so they can use it that way. So I used the people to do that, and it was really good, and 94% stopped snoring.
Wow. Very good. Okay. Very good.
Now, you know, I couldn't find anything online that could come even close to 94%. And the thing about this program, obviously, is it's all natural. It's just tongue exercises. So sometimes things that sound too good to be true, you know, that scares people off or whatever. But anyway, so that was how I discovered it. And oh, and I wanted to say the other 6% that didn't stop snoring, there were 2 reasons for that. One is a couple of them found they couldn't breathe through their nose very well. And if you can't breathe through your nose, this really is not the program for you, okay? And I'll explain that later. And the other 2 or 3, because that would be like 5.5 people, the other 2 or 3 admitted that they didn't do their exercises the way they should have. Okay, so we'll get into that later, but that's the only reason it wasn't 100%. The next year I did kids, because I get a lot of kids in my office. So I used kids to stop snoring, and 100% stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very exciting, very exciting. Let's see, we want to do Rochester. When I was treating the 86 people, I got, this one woman was doing my program, and she lived in Rochester, Vermont, and she's kin to a caterer here in town. So that's how I got her name. Well, she was so excited and was doing so well, she told everybody in her town. And so 34 of them stopped snoring, and so we named it the town that doesn't snore. So let me just give you some facts about this, the way it works, and we'll get started. First of all, there are 2 things that that could happen that would prevent you from gaining anything from this program. One is if you cannot breathe through your nose, physically, you can all breathe through your nose, right? Okay. The other is if you've ever been diagnosed with an extra small airway, Any of you ever been diagnosed with an extra small airway? Okay. Okay, good.
Can you tell by looking?
Trust me with that mouth, you're fine.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you the program, 2 major goals. One is it's going to train your tongue how to live on the roof of your mouth, like that, okay? When it does that, put your tongue up there and try to breathe through your mouth. You can't, can you? So it's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. So you are going to learn how to keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth and how to breathe through your nose when you sleep and not your mouth. When you breathe through your mouth, you get dirty, cold air in your body, okay? You are unable to make nitrous oxide, which is very important in helping those fine muscles in your body, like your heart, helps to regulate that. When you breathe through your nose, all of a sudden the air is cleaned because of those little hairs in our nose, and it's warm. And of course you're getting the nitrous oxide that your body needs. And that's all it is. Okay, so even if you say you might snore every now and then, and you know, really the snoring part doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned. It's breathing through the mouth. That's the culprit. Okay? And most of the time, if a person is snoring, it's coming from their mouth. There are some people who snore through their nose. Okay, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And this program really probably would not help them either. I really haven't, like I said, figured that one out. But you're probably breathing through your mouth. Even if you can be, I've met people who breathe through their mouth during the day too, and some of you might. Okay, that's not unusual at all. Don't you fall asleep on me.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I do that. I just say,
But even if a person just barely has a crack in their lips, it's enough to breathe through it and not even be aware of it. So even if you don't sleep with your mouth hanging open, it doesn't mean you aren't breathing through your mouth. Okay, so those are the basic things. Those are the 2 goals. And this is the way it works. It's a 7-week program. And each week you learn new tongue exercises, 3 to 5 new tongue exercises. And the thing that you have to commit to doing is to do your exercises at least 2 times a day. The exercises may only take 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Most of them can be done while you're doing something else, like driving or watching TV. Most of them do, I mean, very few of them need their own time. Okay? So, will you commit to doing that?
yeah.
Okay.
Just, so if you have, say, 5 different, you do all 5 within 5 minutes or 5 each?
No. Probably 5 to 10 minutes for all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really not, it doesn't take long at all. Okay. Also, whenever you start this program, if you were to get sick, like a cold or sinuses, allergies, that would prevent you or get in the way of you breathing through your nose, that's okay. Take a break from it, you know, get well again, and then you just pick up where you left off. Okay? It's pretty forgiving, actually. Okay. The tongue is made up of all different muscles. And so I'm going to show you how to do the first program. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to start to show you how to do lesson 1.